Hello everyone, my name is Uthris, and welcome back to another episode of Banished with the Mega Mods mod pack here. We are looking at the Southern District that we completed last episode, and this episode we're going to be moving up into the center of town. We're going to be working on the main trade district here today. So we might as well get started. I want a big marketplace up here that will definitely provide a large assortment of tools and resources and food for hopefully 80%, 70 to 80% of the town. They're all gonna come here to get all this stuff done. So if we come into the market buildings, there's a couple options that we have. We have a market puzzle, which is very much like the market stalls that you guys saw earlier, kind of in these builds. It's very much these items over here in the Southern District, but I'm thinking there is more modular kind of markets I think we can use to our benefit. So I just need to find where those were again. This is a village farmers market, village goods market. I wonder if both of these kind of go together, and if so, I mean, we could in theory combine them a bit, just a bit. General store, that doesn't look very good. Hardware store, not really. This is just the default market. Fuel wagon, small market, general wagon, market stalls. There we go. These individual little market stalls might be okay to do for the most part. So we're gonna have like an individual market stall side, and then I think we'll also still do the large market on the other variants as well. We could do, you know, tools and fuel. Well, this one doesn't look as good in my opinion. Like, it looks clean, but it's not, doesn't look quite right. Did my game just crash? Okay, yeah. So this is like blacksmith supplies here. I just kind of don't like the sign on top, and the overall stall looks a little too bulky for my liking. So let's see what kind of fits in this square. So all of these are kind of off kilter, which is a little annoying for sure. This one would fit there, followed by this one nearby, potentially. One, two, three. So this is kind of off center as well. Let's try and just place these two and see if we can place them side by side. It looks like it. So maybe we can do half of it that's prefab market. Could be cool to do. In fact, I'm gonna move this one a little bit more inward because this can't actually hug the sidewalk. We're gonna try and keep them in line, right? So we're gonna just go back one space just to keep these two in line. And the base market stall, this is like the central market deal. Food market, let's grab these. These are just unmarked kind of items that we can do, and I want to do the corners kind of first. And then we'll worry about spacing them out. Oop, oop, oop. I don't want to keep placing the same one, right? Because we are, if I do that, we'll just get all the same market types, and that would be no good. So this one's going to be grain, I suppose. This one will be meat. Kind of a protein stall. I'm gonna have like a miscellaneous stall here in the middle. 1, 2, 1. Kind of want to leave just the center 3 wide going through there. That would be good. So we get a crafted stall, forged. Fabrics. And then see if we can do precious clothing. Something like that to kind of space those out a fair amount. And this is like an edibles market here, which is like a big warehouse kind of deal. And honestly, when I was in Boston, this kind of makes me think of what was up near one of the large market areas that's been there since, you know, the age of the tall ships when the city was first founded. This is a small market, which is very similar in style, honestly, and it looks pretty good too. Kind of use that maybe to get a little bit more in here than we might otherwise. Old Town Market, nah. This is an industrial market. So this is probably going to cover some industry items. Apothecary. You know what? We might just do some wagon vendors in here to make it look like these guys are just kind of not quite set up. Which would be pretty cool. And I need like some sort of central plaza feature, which we might be able to squeeze in some sort of fountain maybe. If there's kind of one small enough. No, not really. If I can't do a fountain, then maybe just a simple well. Here, will do. Just kind of want to see if I can't make this in the center. Ooh. This might look good. That might be it. Right there. A little bit of a water well. And then we'll go ahead, throw in all of the roads that we want to do through the area. It's probably a good idea to kind of surround the well. So this is a huge plaza space. We'll do something kind of like that. So that'll cover a lot of the market space that a lot of people come to for supplies, clothing, goods, all that wonderful stuff. We got some market here, a boat. Coming in with a whole bunch of seeds. You know, we might want to get... we can't afford sugarcane, so we'll shoot that out for now. I'm assuming sugar is going to be important, about as important as it is in our society today. Let's get some different types of storage up. Now, I played with the idea of making a town tithe barn here a long while ago. Just to kind of help with the grandness of the central market. And so to do that, we'll have to remove this storage here. Because it looks like we do have some storage. Just getting in the way in terms of clipping. So we'll have to flip that around. Looks like we have a decent amount of people dying on us, which is not to be you know, a surprise. Our population is pretty old. If you look at the ratio, we have about 1,000 adults and only 176 kind of you know, students and about 200 children. And the reason for that is to keep our population up through this time. I've been kind of just accepting nomads, and they're uneducated. They're not great, you know. Let's be honest. But for the increase of population, I kind of needed it. So that's why that's kind of like that. I wouldn't mind getting some butcher stalls. So our butchery ended up being kind of right here. So we can do that. There are some kind of grander type of homes or items that we could do. Now these buildings all are the same, I think, judging from the model. Even the backside is the same. So what I'll do is, I think the beef butchery will be kind of like a capstone item. Maybe we can kind of do something like this. And then the venison over on the other side. And then we can fill the middle here with a bit more variety. So we get sheep and pig, because we don't really have any of the other animals here. And that way we can get a little bit of a butchery nook going through there. Hopefully it looks good. Okay, and we'll have to decorate that with a whole bunch of boxes and items and stuff. Maybe some tallow storage, who knows? It's going to be a little bit of a messy area near the market, but you know, people can get their protein kind of cut up and made up there. A large water tower, like a city water tank. Maybe cool to do. I'm not so sure though. Because it's that 3 wide that I'm worried about. We could fit one here, kind of just like as a piece off into itself, but we'll hold off on that. It doesn't say our medieval dock is slotted for deconstruction, I don't think, because that's a little bit of a storage area. Let's just continue thinking about food and other items that might show up here that we might need. And another big food item that we want is some of these food refining places. I would love some bakeries in here. Village kitchen. We got a village bakery. This thing, look at this. This is just adorable. Right there. Dairy stuff. This might be a little bit more towards farmland. Old dairy. Can I fit an oil press anywhere? So I think oil presses are pretty important production for food. And if we put it out here near the tithe barn, that could be kind of a cool stone structure out by it. It's kind of the only spot that has room. So we put that there. Now this is a cool bakery. This is proper French bakery. So this needs a good central location to the market. Oh no, I can't put it right there. How about here? Yeah, we'll put it right here on the corner. And you never know when you're doing this. Market barbecue. There's a bakery. Preservist. Does that slip off? No? Okay. Maybe a preserving house would be nice. So just a large butcher of some kind. Oil press, oil press. We have 2 different types of oil press. It seems from mods, and even like a small sub oil press. Campfire, salting house. We could do some fresh salted items. This could make sense over here, potentially, like right on the shore. Kind of near the butchery place. Get your salted meat. Village gruel, sugar house. Sugar is something that is super important, hence why I kind of wanted the crop sooner rather than later. There doesn't seem to be any other variants of this. Oh, it's just one block short there. It's a bit harder with these items that are just too big. Village kitchen employs a worker to produce a range of meals. Seems like this might not fit. Oh, this might fit over here. On this side. Near the produce section. That could be cool. And should I have a couple of the different bakery types? Because if we have the village kitchen, should we have the village bakery too? Just kind of bumped up against it. I think that'll work out. Smokehouse, preserving. This is butchers. We don't need any more of those. Windmills, don't need them, in my opinion. Greenhouse items. I mean, if I put like a... What's the difference between greenhouse B, greenhouse V? 3x5 width, 3x5 width. Use to plant seeds and generate seedlings or vegetables. So if I just kind of throw in... I think it's just the lower base area that makes this a bit different. So no, I don't like that. Don't like it very much. I mean, it's okay, but not ideal, I don't think. Maybe some luxury items. Can we do any luxury stuff in this area? We might be able to fit something. See if there's any sort of potential tavern that we could do. So we can do the Pick and Hen Tavern. They get a free brewery attachment as well, in a brewer house. So we could maybe turn this whole corner into something. How big is this? This is 3 wide. So we just have to make sure to lose the 3 wide, and we can put a cellar on it too, potentially. Alright, so there's 1, 2, 3. Question is, does the cellar go on the right side? I don't think so. I think the cellar has to go on the left side here. Or the brewery. More like it. So if I offshoot that in the back, I'm kind of guessing here a little bit because, you know, it's obviously not made yet. And we'll see if we can't put a little bit of a more seating area back in this corner. Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see on how well that goes. But we're going to have a lot of vendors working up here to keep that flow of goods really strong. Now there's a downside to this, because what might happen is that if we centralize all the goods up here, it might drain goods from the other areas. So that's a big concern when you're doing something like this. However, I'm going to go ahead and risk it anyways. No risk, no glory, right? So I can fit that barn in here now. I don't know if this blocks access or not to those docks. If it does, I'll be... Oh, wait. Oh, there's ways to do this. If I do something like this and put the entrance right here, hopefully they can cross directly over to this fishing dock. Not sure. I think it's, you know, worth the effort to try, at least. And we'll go from there. But we're definitely going to try it. No housing in this district, except for the brewery house, because I think it just kind of fits the aesthetic that we got going on in this corner. I might end up moving the brewery house to the edge, though. This was luxury, right? Luxury, luxury. Yeah. So if I just take it to the edge here, kind of like this, we can use all of this for like dining space. And have like a cool looking tavern in the center of town. Fresian cows. That would be interesting. Fresian cows would give us milk and stuff, but we don't really have the empty space for it just yet. Perfumery. Don't know what that does. Distillery. I definitely know what that does. You might be able to fit that back here. In some capacity. Nope, doesn't look like it. Alright, what else we got? We got a curing barn. We got a winery, which is pretty large, maybe a little too large. Inn and garden. Well, this is a nice structure, just a little too large. The local pub. Tavern, this is what we got in the other district. Small tavern. Could just throw that here. Any good variety of it? Not really. But, you know, we want our taverns to cover a good spread. Village mead brewer. I honestly don't know where I have room for that. If I even have room for that. That's a tannery. Tailoring company, weavers, fibers. Different type of tannery. I kind of put that back here. Near the butchers and stuff, that could be pretty handy. Kind of cap off their workstation with like a linen weaver just to see what that does. Heck if I know. Heck if I know. So each of these little stalls are going to have 2 workers. At least. The bigger ones will probably have 3 each. Just to keep them stocked up. So that's 2, that's 3, 6, 9. And then everything else in here. So that'll look cool. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is we planned this whole thing out. This is going to take a little while for this to construct. So we will go ahead and just do a cut. Alright, here we are. Everything has been built up. It's been a little while to make sure all this gets constructed. But overall, it's looking good. I did make some changes. I felt like some buildings didn't quite fit the density required for the area, so I added a little bit more profession buildings, a little less sugar, a little bit less of an oil press in here. I just felt like that was a little too much of that type of building. Those might end up being moved to the northern industrial area a little bit, just to keep this a little bit more towards the professions, right? The butchers, the leather workers, the smokehouse, or you know, I went ahead and moved this and made a seamstress guild and reworked kind of where the kind of inn and brewery was going to be, and then added some tables, made that look all proper and open, which turned out pretty good. But you know, some weavers, some tailoring companies. We have a resource depot, which we need to start using because right now we're drowning in flowers. And the town tithe bar is complete. And it does look like they can access this area by going out the door here, which is good. I was pretty worried about that when I first laid that down, but it seems to be working all right. The markets, these little ones, after I have placed them, I've determined that they don't hold a whole lot of stuff. These little stalls, some of them do, maybe a little bit more than others. But their overall inventory size seems to be pretty small. So I went ahead and dropped it down to 1 worker each, just so that that should be enough to maintain these. And then I went ahead and bumped how many workers will be in each of the larger markets to 5 from 3. That way we have 15 total kind of vendors running around and getting materials up here to the northern city, and to assist with that. You know, if this becomes a problem, I'll just increase this a little bit more, maybe to 6 or 7 vendors working here, so that they can go that long distance to the other cities to make that trade run succeed, right? Because it's all about getting this fully stocked in my mind. Butchers, they're doing all right. You know, we don't have a whole lot of meat really available. I would say we probably have the most when it comes to beef. Ooh, prime meat right there. That looks pretty good. And offal meat. Another worker's doing good. Smokehouse, they're making corned beef, so that's cool. We're getting some extra higher grade food for our citizens, which is nice. The fountain turned out pretty good, I would say, in the area. This little gap filler made a medieval washing place, because I thought that would be a cool idea. You know, a little bit of a place to clean up in the market square for everyone. I surrounded the whole canal with a fence to keep people from falling in too much. Added some cranes around the more industrial area a little bit, just so that, you know, they can offload little boats if they happen to be going down the canals, which would be cool. Fill in this little plateau as well. Added a grammar school just so we can get some more students. It seems like we have a school shortage going on right now, and we'll have to see how that pans out with our education rate. And that about covers it. Doesn't it look nice? I think it looks nice. You know, this is obviously a little bit of a different look than the lower area, but combined, if you scroll out, you can see they kind of seamlessly merge through. The northern district will be either next. I think we'll be working on the northern district next, which would be more housing on the southern side of the road, and then more industrial on the northern side of the main road, so that we can get some more industry up there. So a little bit of housing closer to the market, just so they don't have to walk too far for it, and they don't have to walk too far for work themselves. I think that would be pretty cool to do. Did I build a graveyard over here? I guess I did. I totally forgot. Sometimes that happens. You get to building and you forget what you placed down. Yeah, so that's turning out good. Let's go down a little bit here and check out a town hall. I want to show you guys kind of our current stats. It's year 157. We have 439 homes, 727 family. We have 1,400 total citizens. 1,400 citizens, guys. That's a huge, huge number. Our food is straining, to say the least. So we'll see, you know, how long we'll stay at 1,400 citizens. But if it ever looks like it's going to dip down dramatically, I'll probably just kind of play on my own a little bit outside of the save. You can see the game is starting to kind of struggle at running. That's normal once you get to a save size about this big. Inventory, let's see what the most items we have. We have 63,000 flowers. That's a lot of flowers. We're gonna have to try and store those. In fact, we're going to go up to the depot thing and find flowers. Flower. Oh, did I pass it? No. Flowers. How many can I fit in here? 50. I guess it's only 1,000, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yay, we get to store 10,000 flowers in here. That's not going to be enough storage. We might have to make some more resource depots and see if that helps kind of divvy out and empty out some of our barns down south, because if those fill up, we're in a little bit of trouble with how far people have to walk then to store their items, which could be also part of the food issue that we're running into as well. But that's it. That's it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of Banished. If you are enjoying the episodes, feel free to subscribe for more creative goodness such as that. Hit that like button. Let me know what you guys think of the market square. And subscribe for more creative goodness such as this. And we'll see you all in the next video.